What is going on, people? It's your boy B Monstrosity back again. And for those who don't know, first of all, I play hardcore. Second of all, me and Black Ops are having its issues at the moment. But I see a lot of people seem to be misunderstanding the assault rifles in this game, so I decided to do this as a little informational type of video. Basically, I'm going to give you guys a lowdown on the assault rifles, okay? Now, I broke these down into 4 different sections. We'll start off with the single shots. Okay, first of all, you have the M14 and the FAL. Now, if you're playing with single shots, chances are you already know a little bit of something about the game. But between these two, I believe that the FAL is a better gun because it's a little bit more accurate. Okay, the M14 reloads a little bit quicker, but I believe the FAL is really the way to go as far as that goes. Okay, the attachments that I like on it are the suppressor, and as you can see on here, I haven't been playing with it too much on this Prestige, but I like the suppressor. My buddy likes to use the ACOG sight on it, which also seems to do pretty well. But if you're playing with single shot weapons, chances are you know what the hell you're doing. Okay, so let's see. The M14, same thing. The iron sights on the M14 are manageable, just like the FAL. So either the silencer or the ACOG sight. Okay, let's move along here. Now the next group of weapons that I'm going to talk about are the 3 burst weapons. You have the M16 and the G11. Okay. Now, 2 kind of different playing styles here as far as these weapons go. Something to note first, the M16 has the furthest range out of all the assault rifles. Okay? It also has very high damage. It's got more damage than the G11. However, the G11 sprays quicker. Okay? Now, for the M16, I would suggest that you use a silencer on it, because it has more range than any other assault rifle in the game. So if you put the silencer on it, you're not going to really lose any range whatsoever. So that's the way I like to use it. Also, with the M16, you're looking at like a far range map, something that would be comparable to like sniping on. Use it kind of like as an anti-sniping map or anti-sniping gun. It works very well in that case. If you also like using Warlord, a sight and a suppressor, works very well for me. Let's move along here to the G11. Okay, now G11, everybody should know that it works great in close quarters situations. Very high rate of fire, and it's ultra deadly. If you haven't tried it yet with no attachments on it, the iron sights are beautiful. Very similar to the FAMAS's iron sights. Great gun to use in medium close range when you go that route. But something that I like to do is put the variable zoom sight on it and use it like a sniper rifle. So basically, you're taking all the advantages of having a sniper rifle except for a silencer, and you're basically taking none of the losses except for a silencer. You could pull up sight just as quick as any assault rifle when you have sleight of hand pro on, and I think it works beautifully. If you're a sniper, definitely check into this. Of course, a lot of people like using the low power zoom scope too, and also just going bare naked without any attachments at all. Alright, now let's move along to the next category here. Basically, you have your heavy hitters, which start off with 40 base damage and drop off to 30, and then you have your lightweight hitters, which start off at 35 and drop off to 25. So let's start with the lightweight boys here, the infield. Now, something you might know about the infield is that it pulls up sight quicker than every other assault rifle. Okay, so this is the quickest pulling up sight. It pulls up sight as quick as a submachine gun, except you don't have the actual added agility that the submachine guns have. Now, for these light hitters, I guess I'll call them, the 35 base damage to 25 where it drops off, you really want to stay in kind of the medium range. You don't want to go into long distance like you would use an M16, primarily because you're going to have to put 2, maybe 3 bullets into somebody. So keep this at a mid-range, and you'll do very well with it. The attachments that I like to use with the infield is the dual mag. Switch out your ammo real quick. Keep you on your toes for all the enemies around you. And once again, using it in mid-range maps, so you're really not going to need too much of a sight. That's just a personal preference. You might want to go with the red dot. I wouldn't suggest using the suppressor on any of the lighter weight guns, just because you don't have that much power in the first place. In some of the guns you do have a high rate of fire, but not this one in particular. This is 750 fire rate, the lowest of all the little lightweight guns that I'm about to show you here. Okay, so next up is the FAMAS, or the FAMAS, if you watch that, dude. The FAMAS, very high rate of fire, tied with the highest rate of fire, tied with the highest accuracy. So this just makes it a beautiful weapon to use against submachine gunners, still in the medium range maps. Things that I like to use on it are the dual mag, the red dot sight, if you need that pinpoint precision accuracy. And once again, I really wouldn't suggest using the suppressor on these small guys. Keep the suppressors for your M16s or your heavy hitters to where you could still drop somebody in one bullet. So let's move along here. The next up is the AUG. Now the AUG and the FAMAS are very similar, okay? They both have the same rate of fire. The FAMAS is more accurate, okay? The AUG actually returns sight to 0 quicker. So basically when you fire, the amount of time that it takes for your sights to come back down to 0, it actually has a little bit quicker time than the FAMAS does. So in a way, it kind of ties up these two guns, but really I think the FAMAS is a better weapon because you're gonna be more accurate out of the starting gate. Okay, if you're a person that's not very accurate shot in the first place, you might want to try out the AUG. It'll give you a little bit of leeway on either side. But the AUG, definitely a good gun. However, I prefer the FAMAS better, and they're practically the same gun. Okay, I think the FAMAS kind of outclasses the AUG. Okay, let's move along to the heavy hitters here. Now, something that you might not be aware of. The AK-47 and the Commando, they're the same gun. Okay, really, they're practically the same gun. They have the same damage, the same rate of fire, the same accuracy. The only difference is that the Commando has a little bit quicker reloading time. Okay, just a hair quicker. So that's really the only difference between these two. Now, I actually prefer the iron sights on the AK as opposed to the Commando. So I like using suppressor on the AK. Another thing that might work pretty well is the dual mag on it. I don't really see a need to put the red dot sight on it because the gun kind of jumps around a little bit. It seems to jump around more than the Commando. I mean, it's kind of weird like that, but I definitely prefer to use the suppressor on it. And when you put the suppressor on these heavyweights, you're still going to drop people in one bullet, just like I'm saying. So definitely use the suppressor on these big guys. Alright, let's go to the Commando here. Now, believe it or not, it's just like I was saying, it seems like the AK jumps around a bit more. So I actually prefer to use the red dot sight on the Commando. The reflex sight is also pretty damn good. And I'm not a big fan of the iron sights on the Commando, so I don't use the suppressor all that much. But to each his own, okay? But practically, the Commando and the AK, exact same gun, pretty much. Okay? Then we'll move along to my personal favorite, the Galil. Now, the Galil is tied with the accuracy. It's tied with the most damage out of any gun. It's in the heavy hitter category here, and I think it's got beautiful iron sights on it, which makes it my favorite assault rifle. So I definitely like to roll with the suppressor on it. If you're a person that needs a little bit more accuracy out of your gun, then try the red dot sight on it. But you know, I think statistically, the Galil probably the best gun in the game. You know, it has the lower rate of fire below the FAMAS, like the AK and the Commando. You know, all the heavy hitters have a little bit lower rate of fire than the lower hitters, except for the infield. But, you know, what it makes up for in rate of fire, it'll drop them like a rock. So, you can't go wrong using this. Definitely try out the suppressor on it. And, yeah. So, hopefully I covered everything. And if you guys got any questions, comments, leave them down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace out.